Yeah, what's up, man? Hope y'all having a blessed one. Back with another one right here. We got his homies back door him after night out hitting licks. God dang. Let's get into this one right here, man.
The story. When most young men decide to jump in the streets, it's either due to necessity, being in need of some money, because their household might not be functional, somebody getting high, or family struggling. But in other cases, it's fascination, or blind loyalty to the neighborhood they grew up in, or certain individuals in that area. As a teen, you want to be in with the popular crowd. And in today's world, the so-called cool kids are saying gang gang, showing off switches on social media, and saying what's the fastest way they can crash out just to have a name in the streets. We see it every day. Teens who haven't lived life yet making decisions they can't come back from, rather pulling the trigger or putting themselves in a game that ends either one or two ways. But to play devil's advocate, we all have been there before. Being young, wanting to fit in, trying to make a few dollars, and be considered somebody that's on that type of time. To some kids, it's just a phase, grow out of it. But in certain environments, it becomes a lifestyle. When the people around you and the things you see line up with living the street life, as a young man that's easily influenced, the decision is easy. I'm gonna go out here and do whatever my people doing and go with that move. But the thing the gang or squad never tells you is that it's no honor amongst thieves, no loyalty in the streets. It's every man for themselves. And when it comes down to it, the same one you calling bro will sit behind you and pull that trigger. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing the case of a teen who thought he was going out to hit licks with the gang, but ended up getting backdoored. Back in the summer of 2022, 18-year-old Jeremiah Williamson was navigating life in Baltimore. A regular city teen, Jeremiah liked dirt bikes, hanging with his friends, and trying to make a few dollars. Just like most young men going through growing pains, trying to get in where they fit in, Jeremiah made some bad choices and found himself a part of a growing epidemic in Baltimore, being a member of a carjacking ring. Him and his guys would hit the city, trying to catch somebody slipping, take their car, whether just to have a stolo or in hopes of finding valuable items to sell to make a few dollars. One of his homies was an 18-year-old man named Jared Byrne. Jared was known to keep his hands in the mix, and he was always in and out of trouble. On June 21st, the crew went out, Jeremiah, Jared, and two other guys. They rode through the city and found the person to carjack. The next day, on June 22nd, BPD got a call of a body that was found by some railroad tracks in the 2500 block of Georgetown Road in southwest Baltimore. They responded to the location to find a person severely burned, suffering from a gunshot wound to the head, a burnt cell phone, car keys, and money. A few yards down the block was a burnt Honda sitting in a parking lot. The victim, who was unfortunately pronounced gone on the scene, was taken to the medical examiner's office to be identified, and the results came back to be the body of Jeremiah. Police didn't know exactly what happened to the young man, but they did get a report of a carjacking the night before, not too far from that area. During their investigation, they linked Jeremiah with the car that was burning and noticed it was the same car that was reported stolen earlier the day before, and the young man was suspected of being with the group who took it. Names was coming in of the people the young man was hanging with, including Jared, whose name was also ringing in another case in another part of the city. Rewind 1 week prior, in another part of town, 21-year-old Kevin Moody was unfortunately shot and killed in the 2200 block of Ashton Street. On June 15th, 2022, BPD received a call of shots fired. They located the young man. He was rushed to a local hospital suffering from gunshot wounds, but unfortunately, he wouldn't survive his injuries. Police were informed it was an alleged retaliation, with somebody claiming Kevin was involved in a hit of another young man who was friends with a 19-year-old man named Antonio Charisma. Police got footage of the incident that showed the car pull up and two men hop out and shoot at Kevin. One of the suspects, being Antonio, and another familiar name also came up in the case, none other than Jared. The two young men were picked up. While being questioned about Kevin, another incident came up involving his friend Jeremiah. Jared admitted to being with Jeremiah the night he was hit. He claimed they stole the car, and there was a disagreement between Jeremiah and the rest of the group. So they basically all decided the young man had to go. But according to the other guys, Jared was the trigger man, in which when he was arrested, he was in possession of the gun that was used to take Jeremiah's life. He claimed he ran after the shots went off, but he didn't see who the shooter was or who set the car and body on fire. But police had surveillance footage of both homicide scenes. Jared was taken into custody, charged with 2 counts of first-degree hit, carjacking, conspiracy, and also a gun charge. And Antonio, just 1 count of first-degree hit in reference to his case on Kevin. As their cases started making their way to trial, Antonio pled guilty in his case. After it was stated, he thought Kevin was involved in the hit on his friend, and his lawyer claimed the young man was caught up and addicted to drugs heavily at the time of the incident and not in his right state of mind. For his admission of guilt, Antonio was sentenced to 61 years in prison for his role in Kevin's shooting. But Jared never admitted to being involved in the situation, which led to the judge to show no mercy. When he was too found guilty and sentenced to life plus 35 years for his involvement with the case, including Antonio and Kevin. And on November 1st of this year, Jared pled guilty to backdooring Jeremiah and taking his life. He was sentenced to another life sentence, all suspended for 35 years, as he was pointed to as the trigger man. Rest in peace to both Jeremiah and Kevin. I send my prayers and condolences to their families. I know these are 2 different incidents, so I might double back and do a separate story on Kevin. But with Jeremiah, he trusted Jared and the other members of the little team they was out with. But it just goes to show you might feel like your homies is gang, but how do they really feel about you? To shoot Shorty from behind in the back of the head and leave him on some tracks, that's cold-blooded. They never stated why they turned on him. For all the hoppers out there, watch the company you keep, because your mans that's outside doing everything with you might take that same exact gun y'all using one day and put it to the back of your head. But hey, that's the ball.
Hey, that's how it be, bro. Nigga was just talking about like a little situation like that before this. Like, niggas that hang around with you for years. I'm talking about years. And finally pick that one chance when shit don't go that way and start talking crazy about you. Shit crazy, right? We're gonna go ahead and watch who y'all hang with. You better watch your homies, dog. And we'll go ahead and end this video right here, man. Y'all go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Hope y'all have a blessed one. See y'all on the next video.